Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of the inheritance. So once again, it's pointing out who the Most High people are. Who's given the inheritance is the people of Israel. Nobody else. Once again, the Most High is telling you who's his special people are. This whole book is written and for the history book for the Israelites. Nobody else. So this is where we come in and bringing this out.
So yeah, it said that he divided the nations. Okay, so yeah, he divided the nations. Okay, he gave everyone their own portion. Okay, so it wasn't a unified thing. Even when Christ come back and say he's gonna separate the sheep from the goat. Okay, so he's gonna come back and put separatism. Okay, so yeah, everyone think, they know Christ, but he's coming to divide the nations. He's not coming with peace but a sword. Okay, so yeah, you guys got to wake the hell up, Negroes and Indigenous. Okay, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's right. You got to wake up. All right, so get Colossians 2 and 8. Okay, because yeah, this whole thing with January, this whole New Year's that's coming up. A lot of people don't know that it has pagan origins. Okay, a lot of people don't know where it comes from. It has rituals that it stemmed from. Okay, like I just said, when you look in the Latin, all these months, the 10th month is even like I say, if you want, I'll just simplify it. When you know Spanish, Nueve is 9, Diez is 10. Okay, so that's showing you that it's not adding up. Okay, and what we're going to read, the Romans added January and February to complete it, and then the guy, I forgot his name, but he switched, I believe it was March. He switched March to January being the beginning of the month. So this is a lot of stuff a lot of people don't know, but when January 1st or tomorrow, New Year's and resolutions, but we also gonna show that the Romans, and they was doing all that, wishing, having well wishes, greetings, parties, things like that. They was doing all of that like you guys do. That's why I said it's a ritual, because every year, New Year's resolution. I'm gonna get back in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do better this year than I did the last year. You know what I'm saying? That they was doing that back in the Roman Empire, because America's nothing but the Roman Empire reincarnated. All right, so the new year is not January. Okay, it's in spring, when the Passover is. All right, get that?
Colossians what?
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through their prophecy and vain deceit, after traditions of men, after the remnants of the world, and not after Christ.
So, beware lest any man spoil you philosophy and vain deceit, through the traditions of men. Okay, because traditions of men have told you that July or January is the first month, when that's not. Okay, people, the man has told you that December 31st, is the last day before the new year. Okay, which again, the Passover is when, during spring, that is when the new month or the first month is, according to the scriptures. Okay, it's not in the dead of winter. Because again, like I always say, if that's the case, how come people don't keep Easter, their pagan holiday Easter, in January? If that's the first month, how come you guys don't? Because according to the scriptures, the first month is when Passover is to be kept, but you guys don't keep Passover during January. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you guys don't even keep all the feast days when they're supposed to be. You keep the Passover, or you keep Easter rather, during the March, April time. So I mean, y'all cutting yourselves, left and right. All right. So, but it says the traditions of men. Get up Matthew 15. Yeah, 15, 7, 8. Yeah, because that's all the traditions of men. Nothing that is done in this society is of a Hamashiach. Okay, it's not of the Lord. Okay, so yeah, like I said, it's a lot of zombies amongst our people and just in general from the Gentiles, you other nations. Okay, like everybody's caught in the matrix. Or everyone doesn't care about what's going on. Everybody doesn't care about the Most High, doing what's right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just want to do what they want to do. Okay, and that's why this place is going to be destroyed. Okay, because the Most High, he going to sift out the people that's going to serve him. Okay, all the people, basically the Most High is going to kill everybody that don't want to serve him in spirit and in truth. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. Okay, because the Most High, it says, the sins have the sins have reached up to heaven. So it's showing you that no one cares about the Most High.
The book of Matthew, chapter 7. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 7. Ye hypocrites, well did Esaias prophesy of you, saying, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
So, a lot of people, they honor Christ with their lips, but their heart is far from him.
Check it out.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, y'all gonna talk about y'all gonna be in church in the new year and all of that, but you didn't know that it had pagan origins. So then on Sunday, you're going to be in church, you know what I'm saying, all them well wishes and all the resolution that you made, but you don't change. You know what I'm saying? You don't change for the better. Because next year, you're still going to be doing the same stuff. You're still going to be celebrating Halloween. You're still going to be celebrating Halloween. You're still going to be doing Christmas. Yeah, then the new year will come up again, and then you'll be saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really changing for the better. So, but you doing everything for man, traditions of men, and not after a Mashiach. So everybody, they say they love God and they love Christ. But like Hamashiach said, why do you not do the things I say? Okay, he said to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Christ, he kept the Hanukkah, which is Feast of Dedication. He kept Passover. He didn't keep Christmas. He knew that the beginning of month started with the month of where Passover would be, which is the month of B, not January, which is pagan, going back to Janus, which was a false deity of the Romans. You know what I'm saying? So go to Daniel 7 and 25. You know what I'm saying? So you Negroes and indigenous need to repent, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, because it's a lot of people think it's a game, but they read the Bible and see all throughout the scriptures where the Lord is going to kill people that don't keep the commandments, but it's a joke and it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Well, like they say, the joke's on you. But get 7:25.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given unto him, given into his hand until a time and a dividing of time.
And that's what's happened. Okay, so we can show by process of elimination who is the one that is changing times. Again, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, the so-called white man.
That's right.
Okay, Esau, which is his biblical nationality, he has changed the times. He has put, America has gone and used this Gregorian calendar. Okay, y'all Israelites, Negroes and indigenous, but the so-called white man has changed times, and that's what he's changed laws, he's changed times. He says that the America is governed by the Bible, but he throws it behind him and he places his own laws. Okay, and Esau knows this. You know what I'm saying? That's why most so-called white people can't contest what is being said, because you know that you've changed laws, you've changed everything about the Most High. Okay, you're the ones that's still pushing that the new year is January, when it's clear that it's not. It's clear that it starts during March. Okay, that would be your first month, March. Okay, when spring comes. Okay, so he thought to change times. Go to Exodus 12. Okay, so let's show that the first month is during the time of when the Passover comes. Okay, so you have to do your own research and know when when they say it's March or April, but I believe it's March, being that when you count from March down all the way down to February, those are your 12 months, like perfectly. Okay, because even like I said, they count 9, 10, or 8, 9, 10, or ocho. That ocho is 8. October. And then 9, nueve, or Novem, which is 9, and then diez or decem is 10. Okay, so that's where that comes from. All right, so
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers. This month shall be unto you. Verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast of the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep a feast by an ordinance forever.
Yeah, so when the Passover comes, that's when the first month is. Okay, which would be March, not January. Okay, so again, showing you that the new year, pagan origins, goes back to Rome. All right, so when the Passover is to be kept, that's when the New Year's, or that's when the new year comes in. Okay, during the time of the Passover, because no one's keeping Passover or gonna be keeping Easter in January. Okay, so that even shows you. All right, so get Exodus 34 and 18. Just get a few of these with showing you that the month of Abib is the first month.
The book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 18. The feast of unleavened bread shall thou keep 7 days. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and as commanded thee in the time of the month of Abib, for in the month of Abib thou comest out from Egypt.
Yeah, the month of Abib, okay, which is the first month. Okay, that's when the Passover is to be kept. Okay, and that will show you when the first month is. All right, so go to Numbers 9 and 1 and 2. Okay, so we are about to get the origins, but just a layer. So letting y'all know that this pagan New Year's Eve is wicked, and that January is not the true new beginning of year, or beginning of the year. Okay, it would start in the spring, which would be March. Okay, so that's what we're breaking down, and we're breaking down that the so-called Negro man in America is the real Jew. Okay, we're the real Jews of the Bible. All right, so that's who we are. We're not black, African American, so on and so forth. We are the chosen people of the Most High.
That's right.
All right, and that should be every Negro man's New Year's resolution is to come back to the Most High and take back your nationality. Okay, that's what you need to do. Repent, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, claim your heritage back. Okay, that was stolen. That's your New Year's resolution. Okay, not all this dumb stuff in America. Okay.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season.
So keep the Passover in his appointed season, which will be the first month. All right, so not in the dead of winter. That's not when the Passover is kept. It's not kept right now. Yeah, pretty much. So let's get you get what I sent you.
That's some good music on too.
History of the months and the meetings. Yeah, you could just say March. Just say you got it. Yeah, just say.
You know, this is the history of the months, according to the Romans, the pagan Romans. The original Roman year had 10 names, months. There's March, Aprilist, May for June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and probably 2 unnamed months in the dead of winter when not much happened in agricultural.
So it tells you that, 2 unnamed months that came about in the dead of winter. Okay, and what does the scripture say? Matter of fact, hold that, get that in John 10, 22. You know what I want. Yeah, because we just kept the Hanukkah. Okay, so it said that in the 2 unnamed months in the dead of winter. Okay, so December would be the 10th month, and then the other 2 months is January and February, which is the dead of winter. Okay, so not the new year. Go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter.
And it was winter. Okay, and if you know about the scriptures and know when the Hanukkah is to be kept, or the Feast of Dedication, it's not, we just read that the first month that Passover is. Feast of Dedication is not when it's in the month count Slu, which I believe is the 9th month. Okay, so that's not even near when the Passover, which is when the first month is to be. When the first month is when the Passover is. Alright? So it said the year, I'll just read it from. It said the year began with Martinius March, Pompulus, the second king of Rome, circa 700 BC, added the 2 months, January and February. So the Romans added the January and February, and it says he also moved the beginning of the year from March to January and changed the number of days in several months to be odd, a lucky number. Okay, so he changed it from, so the Romans had changed it from March to January. Okay, so we know that March is when the Passover is. Okay, that's when the first month is. Okay, not January. We just read that the Romans changed. Shalom, brother. You're an Israelite. Alright, gotta repent. But the Romans changed it from March to January. So that's why people think that January is the first month of the year. But it wasn't like that. The Romans changed that. We just read in the scriptures that they would think to change laws and times, because the so-called white man, he is the Roman. He is the Greek. Okay, the Edomites, that's who they are. Okay, they're the Romans, they're the Greeks, so on and so forth. Okay, so let me see. Go to that Janus. Our brothers got, man, we the both sides. Lights. Yeah, Janus.
In ancient Rome religion and mythology, Janus, the god of the beginning of transitions. There is also of gates, doors, doorways, endings in time. He is usually a two-faced god since he looked to the future and the past. The Roman dedicated the month of January to Janus. His most apparent remnant in modern culture is his namesake, the month of January. Though he was usually depicted with two faces looking in opposite direction, Janus, two Janus, or patrons. In some places he was Janus quadriformes.
So yeah, Janus, dumb Edomites, you don't know knowledge, but basically January, Janus, the Roman god Janus, is where you get January from. Okay, but so-called white man, he claimed he the genius and it takes after him, but he doesn't know this. They laugh, but you don't know that January is named after a Roman god. Okay, you don't know that the Romans changed the month of March to January. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of stupid people. But you know what I'm saying? They claim they geniuses and stuff like that. You know? But again, what America made off of our backs, and all the inventions that you're using, this light that you're using, these people driving up and down, a black man made that. So who will salt of the earth? Alright. But I just cause damn Edomite, man. Edomite laughing. What? Bitch, please. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So January, Janus is where that comes from. Alright, so it says, I'll read the rest of it. It says Janus was frequently used to symbolize change and transition, such as progression of past to future, or one condition to another, of one vision to another, of one universe to another. Hence, Janus was worshipped at the beginnings of the harvest and planting times, as well as marriages, births, and other beginnings. He was respective of the middle ground between barbarity and civilization, ritual country and urban cities, and youth and adulthood. Okay, so that's what was happening in Rome. Alright, so it says, the winter solstice was thought to occur on December 25th. January 1st was New was New Year Day. The day was consecrated to Janus since it was the first of the new year and of the month of Janus. The Furia had a Ogaro character, as Romans believed the beginning of anything was an omen for the whole. Thus, on that day, it was customary to exchange cheerful words of good wishes. So everything that a lot of people do on New Year's Eve, that go back to the Romans. Your New Year's resolution, that goes back to the Romans. That has nothing to do with the Bible. Because we're breaking down and showing that the word January or Janus, that's where the Roman god Two-Face. Yeah, exactly. So people should know that January is not the first month.
I just wanted to